So let's talk. Some of the things that I'd like to discuss is first off, like what happened with Veronica. Veronica had some issues when it came to coming down the track. It went down approximately 60 foot. It smoked the tires in first gear pretty heavily. So that's a little bit of driver error. So what happened is I would launch it at around 4,500 RPMs, let off the clutch, and it would automatically just spin the tires. I don't blame anybody else about that. I blame that on myself because it's just seat time. I got to get the seat time in Veronica on a drag strip. I've had seat time on her going around the Nürburgring and stuff like that. A few of my subscribers have seen me on the Nürburgring with this car. It's pretty lethal. It's pretty lethal on the Autobahn as well. Autobahn, it can get up anywhere between 160, 170 consistently and stay there for quite some time. So I never had any issues with the car going on the track as far as road coursing it or whenever I was going through and actually driving it naturally. So this time I've stepped my game up a little bit more. As you can tell in the last video, I bought Mickey Thompson's to go on the back of the car in order for it to get more traction. I took it to Phoenix City, went and did a burnout, first gear burnout. Did pretty well. First pass down, it just for some reason spun the tires. It would not stop spinning the tires, and when I shifted in a second, as you can tell in the last video, it started to hook a little bit more and then go. But I was still getting that 2.0 60 foot, so terrible. Not as great as I wanted it to be, so didn't really do well there. Second pass came back around. I wanted to try and do a 1-2 shift during the burnout and try and see if I can get the tires a little bit hotter. I shouldn't have done it. First off, I don't know. I haven't really driven a stick car when it comes to drag racing. I've always done automatics, whether it be a Turbo 400, a Power Glide, a Turbo 350, whatever the case may be. I've owned automatics on a drag strip. I've never really owned a stick car. I don't know whether or not I should have done the 1-2 shift. That's something that I'm kind of new at. Never really actually tried and figured it out. And I never watched any videos, which I probably, if some of you can link some videos down in the description below or the comments below, I'd like to actually see some of the videos of somebody actually doing a second gear burnout in the car, if they are able to do it, or if they even stay in first gear and do the burnout that way. So I don't know. I'm getting used to the car as much as I can right now and as much as possible. So let's talk about some things that I would like to discuss as far as the car itself. If you don't like the wing on the car, well, that's your choice. I am very biased when it comes to the wing. I wouldn't have bought the car without the wing. So when I bought the car originally in Germany, I thought it looked disgusting. I didn't like the way the coupes looked. I didn't like the way the sedans looked. It didn't appeal to me. And when I bought the car, I originally said, hey, I'm going to buy a APRwing to put on the back of it so that it makes it look a whole lot better as far as cosmetic wise. And as well, when I would actually start hitting and roll racing this car at around 60 miles an hour, the car would break loose. And a lot of people will see that on street tires and normal tires, but if you have Mickey Thompson's or something else that you're street racing with, you don't really see it as much and as often. But when you're on a regular street tire and you're trying to make sure that you keep the tread wear up, I keep the APRwing on because it makes it a lot easier to keep it stabilized at 60, 70 miles an hour when you're hitting it and not having to worry about the tires breaking loose because you have so much downforce on the backside. Yes, I may lose some on the mile an hour side. However, I've had this car up to 186 miles an hour with the wing on the back of it. So I'm no stranger when it comes to top speed of this car because Germany Autobahn. And I have a few of my subscribers that's been with me on the Autobahn with this car. So they know how stupid I drive with this car. Now, with that being said, I have moved since back to the States with this car, and I have gotten it tuned and modified through Justin White. I've had a lot of experience modifying my own cars, so I decided to go ahead and do what I would consider probably a stage 1 kit, where it's nothing but a pulley, E85, injectors, you know, the common basic stuff that you would do to a car. And I had Justin White tune it. And the reason why I had Justin White tune it is because I liked the way he approached the situation whenever I actually was intimidated with the new tuners. I've had tuners in the past. I've had Evo tuners. I've had BMW tuners. I've had all these different types of tuners in my life. And when I've used them, it would be for a one-time purpose. They would only like remote tune the car, or they would get in and actually street drive the car, and then they would tune it and they'd be done. I have a connection with Justin White because it seems like he cares. But I can send that dude a log right now, and I guarantee you he will open it up and tell me exactly what's wrong with the car, or what's wrong, what I need to actually do to improve, and he probably wouldn't charge me. And I've never met a tuner that would do that for me. There was times that when I paid him and he sent me a tune, he's not one of them ones that would sit there and give you just a plain bass tune. I think we went about anywhere between 20 to 30 tunes back and forth. I remember driving from Alabama all the way to Tennessee, and on the drive up, I was literally tuning my car. I was taking the logs that I had, I would log them in, I would send them off to him, and then he'd send me a log within like 10-15 minutes, and then I'd drive another 15-30 minutes on the tune. And then by the time I got to Tennessee, he was like, hey, I need you to do full throttle pulls. And I was super stoked about that. So my experience with Justin White may be different with other people that have done or dealt with other tuners. But my experience with Justin White, I've never had an issue, and I never will probably have an issue with him when it comes to tuning a car. He has went above and beyond when it came to Veronica and making sure that she was running right. And I'm pretty sure that if I was to actually go through and actually log all of these other stuff, and I would send it to him, he wouldn't have a problem helping me out or helping any of my friends out when it comes to understanding or knowing that Justin White will put his passion and heart into a car. I don't know what happened in the past, don't really care what happened in the past. I can just tell you from my experience right now with Justin White, is probably one of the best experiences I've ever had when it comes to a tuner. I could say, 2 or 3 weeks from now, when it comes to my car has been on Justin White tune for probably about a year now. And I've been waiting to actually post this video and my experience with Justin White. And the only reason why I'm mainly posting this is not because of anything that's going on, but since the car is down and now is broke probably until next year when it comes out for its final last straw, it's going to be a drag car. It's going to be my ultimate drag car, and my other car, my BMW, is going to be my road course car. And yeah, I mean, we're about to go through another era of my life where I'm about to retire. I'm in the military. I'm about to retire out of the military, and I'm also stoked that my wife is getting out at the same time I am. She's medically retiring, so she's able to actually help me out, try and publish some of these videos that you're able to see, and then as well making sure that when it comes to the content, she's always constantly telling me, hey, you need to put stuff up, and making sure that you, the subscriber, are seeing it. So if you're seeing an influx of videos, just know that it's on her. She is the one that's pushing it and driving me, doing the best I can to actually make these videos. And I love her to death, and my child is soon to be coming up, and I'm hoping to get him in a junior dragster when he grows up a little bit older. So there's going to be a lot of content coming when it comes to my kid, and when it comes to actually driving my own cars. And then also as well my daughter Haley, that's living down in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. She's 100% behind me and supporting me on all of the things I've ever done, and I'm hoping that we can start seeing more of her in the future when it comes to some of these videos. But she's doing well down in Florida, and we're going to continue to keep doing and posting all of these videos to make sure that you, the subscriber, can actually get everything that we're doing on the ground. So stay tuned, continue to like and subscribe, try and share some of these videos, because I know that when I'm doing these videos, it's a little bit of work and content. However, I know that some of the stuff that I'm actually doing and spending my money on is actually helping me push forward to say, hey, you, the subscriber, wants to see this, and I'm hoping that you do. I would actually like to hear some of your content as to what you're wanting to see. I know if you made it past this part of the video, that you've listened to what I've said, you've listened to my content. Please tell me down in the description below what you would like to see more of, whether it be Veronica, Michelle, my wife's 71 Beetle, 65 Mustang. We really haven't even published much of that content onto the channel yet, due to the fact that we are living in an RV towards the end of my career, so we're not being able to publish most of my bug content or most of the 65 Mustang content, and those two cars are my wife's. So she is 100% down, trying to get down and dirty with me as well, and understanding some of these cars and how they work, and this way she can actually start doing the same things I'm doing. She's passionate about it, so I'm hoping to keep pushing it forward. So I appreciate your time, and just know that if you have any questions or you have anything, just hit me up. I'm either on Facebook, Instagram. I have another Instagram that I just created for other people's cars so that they can see them. If you haven't seen them, I'll link them down in the description below. This way you have more content that you can see from me. So I appreciate your time. Peace out. I'm out, man.